All righty. Well, this one comes from our guy, Andy, who loves giving us a question every week. He says, "Welcome back to Ohio, Bruce. How would you compare your experiences as a Cubs fan throughout your childhood to then rooting for and covering the Browns when coming to Cleveland?"
Again, I'm not surprised Andy asked a great question. I was anticipating him saying the Guardians or the Indians, and then he says the Browns because of the frustration suffered by the fans. A few years ago in 2016, when the Indians played the Cubs in the World Series, a lot of people, knowing that I'm originally from Chicago, asked me, well, did you have mixed emotions? I said, no, not at all. I said I was ready, willing, and able to relocate anywhere in the country with my broadcasting career when I left Chicago to come here to Cleveland in the spring of 1978. And when I was 19 years old in 1969, the Cubs were running away with the Eastern Division. And Ron Santo, their third baseman, after every win would jump up in the air and clamp his feet. And it was a celebration after every game because they had been so bad for so many years, even though in 67 and 68 they had decent seasons, but the Cardinals were so dominant both those years. And then they choked. And the Miracle Mets came out of nowhere and actually wound up winning the division by like 10 games after the Cubs had like almost a 10-game lead going into the month of August. Total choke. And it broke my heart. And they lost me. And then with my broadcasting career looming, and I was in college majoring in radio and TV, the Cubs were the last thing from that. They disappointed me and broke my heart so badly that it was the last thing on my mind was the Cubs. So then when I came to Cleveland, let alone getting the Indians TV job with Joe Tate to do the play-by-play in color with Joe, how do I, I was long since been a Cubs fan. But I will say this, to my grave, I will always have a love affair with Wrigley Field. To me, it's the best venue in all of sports. It's so homey and cozy and just the most fabulous place to relax and watch a game. And you're right on top of the field. So that I would say. But as far as the analogy between the frustration of the Cubs and the Browns, the only way I can answer that, Andy, and you've heard me say it again, is I think that Browns fans are the greatest fans of any team in any sport because they've been disappointed and so deflated and so just devastated year after year after year, frustrated year after year after year, yet they're the most loving, adoring fans of their team, of any team I can think of in all of sports. Great question.